In this section, we will look at Uhau Humu Pohaku construction techniques. You'll be given an overview on layout and design. Our master masons will walk you through specific building techniques. Some of these techniques will differ among various practitioners. This is because each has their own personal style.
Every stonemason has their own handwriting there, and I cannot say that, oh, my style is better than this guy or whatever.
Well, just like any other setter, I can tell like where Billy's been. I could tell his style, his appeal, how he locks rocks. I could tell Uncle Sam, and how he locks rocks just by one look, you know what I mean? But still, it's all the same concept, except for just a different mason, I like different rocks, Billy likes different rocks, Uncle Sam likes his different rocks.
Some other guys, you got the bigger rocks on the bottom, the smaller rocks on the top. And that's a type that you always see all around, people like to do it that style. My style is I like to put big rocks on the top.
Yeah, I usually like to use the biggest rocks too, that I can possibly find. Not only does it finish the job a lot better, but it's a lot stronger. I think big rocks is safer, stronger, always.
But if you're looking for the artistic look, the rocks of the same size is the way to go.
Everybody's got their own setting styles, and they're all good. If you set a rock, it looks good, the face is out there, it locks, it'll withstand 6.7 earthquake, it is good. Beauty to me is fleeting. Beauty is only skin deep. If you have a nice wall that collapses, it's not a good wall.
Pretty much the layout work for what we do is probably the hardest thing.
Just about that line to that trees down here is about like 29 to 31 feet.
A good structure begins with proper layout and design. Structure type, terrain, and purpose must be considered when determining dimensions, placement, wall angles, and the style of the structure.
You gotta know about tilt, shape, different technical aspects of a stone wall building. It's not just stack the rocks inside. You gotta know whether to lean it, how to lock it from the back, how to lock it from the front. There's a lot of different aspects.
The bottom of the wall is 3 feet wide, 3.5 feet tall, 18 inches on the top. And this angle here works out to be a 10-degree angle. So, and the reason we do that in dry masonry is the only thing that's holding a dry masonry wall together is gravity and the integrity of a mason. And the reason we have a 10-degree angle on this thing is with gravity and the integrity of the mason, pushes the rocks down, and this holds it in place with this angle here. And during a period of time with people, animals, natural disasters, earthquakes, this wall will shake and move, and it won't collapse this way.
When the ground is prepped and all materials are on site, advanced builders will then erect batter boards to outline the structure and maintain desired angles for the walls.
So erecting batters is basically a two-man job. Okay. And this is it. We attach a string top of wall to the next batter, which we're going to use the same setup. Okay, these strings are here for a purpose. This purpose is to guide you, okay? And basically what we do with these strings here, when we set our rock, we sight down these strings. This string and this string line up, okay? And your rock cannot be out this way, cannot be out this way. You gotta leave about a 1/16 of an inch and line up your rock, and that's what these strings are for. So even repairing on the wall, we put up a string, okay?
Even though the stone setting techniques are traditional, Billy incorporates a lot of modern techniques into the layout of the wall, using a batter board, using a level, using string, using stone hammers. And his philosophy is simple. It's if our ancestors had all of these tools back in the day, they would have used them.
When all preparations and cultural protocols are complete, the structure is ready to be built. This includes setting of the Pohaku Niho, Pohaku Kihi, Pohaku Alo, Pohaku Papale, and the Hakahaka that fills the inside of the structure.
But kameki is the proper word for cement. And we are the kameki that will pull this pa. We are the kameki. We are the glue that's going to make this pa pilipa. By our skills, by selecting the right rocks, that's the cement. We're going to use gravity, we're going to use friction, and we're going to use proper setting techniques.
At every stage of construction, selecting the best pohaku is important.
I'm real selective when I go and choose my rocks. I think, when you choose all the right rocks for what you're gonna do, it's gonna be easier for you. I would be looking for flat rocks, nice face.
We stack rocks barehanded. That way you can feel the rock, you can feel the weight of it, you can feel the abrasiveness of the rock, whether you need it that way. You can almost feel the length. You can almost feel where you want to put the rock. You know what I mean? Every rock has a place in the wall. Every rock. So you pick them up, oh, you're ugly. But looks are deceiving, right? That's the rock you needed right here to go in that puka right here. Fit, lock, and cannot move. Then you're going to say, oh, thank you. Thanks for going in that spot. Before you start building a wall, you dig the Niho trench and you select the Niho rocks.
The Pohaku Niho, or the teeth, that lock the structure into the earth. This foundation layer is critical to the strength of the structure and must be set thoughtfully.
What we want to try to do is we want to get the nice Niho stones. Of course, we're going to have problems to find all perfect stones. So you have to move your stone around till you find the right position, the right tilt.
Yeah, there you go.
In dry masonry, almost all pohaku should be laid flat.
If you stand up a rock, it's going to fall over eventually. It's harder to lock in, and there's a chance it might fall over. So Kelly went this way, which is the proper way.
There's more strength this way instead of standing something up. You can see that's real thin.
Lay down the rocks. See, every rock that we use is set flat, not standing up, And regardless of the stone we're using, even if we're using round stones, like ala stones from the river or something, is we're looking for the flattest surface.
As the Pohaku Niho are set and Pohaku Alo or face stones start coming up, it is important to remember to backfill with Hakahaka.
So as you can see, what's happening is every stone we set, we backfill.
These back stones are more important than this one down back here. The front one. This guy is only the key. This back here is all the core. The core is all back here. All the soldiers are back here.
You make it where it's not moving. Because if you don't backfill it and it's unstable, the next rock that goes on here is also going to be unstable. So as you come up, you fill.
Yeah. Again, we lock it by keeping it from rocking back and forth. And then Okay. There. And the fill goes in the bag.
And we'll add more fill.
We always preach that the one aloe rock is backed up by one ka'au, by 40 other rocks.
Another important concept for stabilizing a structure is to lock each face stone by creating multiple overlapping contact points with adjacent pohaku.
On the face like this, if you put one rock, you're going to have one underneath it, one here, one here, one here, one here, maybe one here, surrounding that rock. So every rock is surrounded by minimum of 5 to 7 rocks. That's a good setting. It's a good setting. All of them are holding that rock in here.
So this big rock here, which is a nice rock, this rock here locks 1, 2, 3, 4. So this whole section here is locked by this one rock. Everything is crisscross, crisscross, which is what we call the locking technique, like how people set bricks and blocks. Everything is interlocked where there's not one joint running up the wall.
Try to stagger the lines. Don't get too many lines. This way is okay, but stagger the lines.
Just want to make sure that you can set your next rock on the rock that you just set, securely.
Stay 4 stones ahead of yourself, and basically what you're doing is you're creating a space for the next 3 rocks. So like if we're using round stones, you're creating round areas for the stone to go in, and finding the flattest surface.
You shouldn't stand on the edges of the wall. However, if you stand on the wall and it doesn't move anywhere, this is one of the good tests of how the wall sits. There's no migration. And this is good because as you come up to the top, the sub layer, we should start using the long ones, the longer locking stones like this right here, and there, and here. See, long in is strong in the wall. Long, like keystone, you put a keystone inside there. Long in is strong. So you can put some short ones up front, but you better have 2 or 3 longs on the side backing it up. And you should not have something in the back that will like prune seed the front rock out. I call it prune seed. There's a technique. If you put a rock out that's got a peculiar shape, like maybe a tail that goes like this, they say always put the tail in, right? But if you have another rock that's sitting on the downslope, and one over here that's kind of shaped like this, then gravity after a while will force that rock like a prune seed to squeeze it and eject the rock out of the wall.
When small gaps are left in the wall face, they sometimes need to be filled.
We call it chinks, or we call it plugs. And we don't like using these, but like I said, every so often, you gotta, and when you do it, we try and do it real tastefully so it'll fit in here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for a stone that will fit and look like it belongs there, like so.
If you're gonna chink, use a flat piece, a flat abrasive rock. Don't use round rocks just for aesthetics, Because if you have a rock and you have a space like that and you get a tremor, it falls like that and you have abrasion. But if you have a little round rock in the way, it fall like that, it's a ball bearing, like it'll roll out.
This is your top string. We want stones this size, not itty bitty stones on the top. The reason for that, people are gonna be walking on the edges. When we come to a top of a wall, the very top, I want a large enough stone to come to the top of the wall, not one stone that's gonna come 1 or 2 inches from the string and you're gonna put a little rock up there, because what could happen, that's the first rock gonna fall off the wall. So if you find one rock that only gonna come 1 or 2 inches to the string, this is what I tell him. You take that rock and you put them underneath the big rock, so the big rock come to the top of the string. Okay, it's a good fit, but we only get this much left. So what you do in this case right here,
Building corners requires the most advanced knowledge and skill.
This one? That one? Right now we're trying to find the corner rocks, the key rocks that will support the corner.
on most job sites, if you are selected to do the corners, means you are one of the better masons on the job, that you know what you're doing. And what does the better mason do when he is assigned a corner? You gather your materials, and basically you go into the pile and you take all your cornerstones before the guys that are running on the line will set them.
See, this is ideal rock because of its shape, a rectangle shape or square shape that'll work. Okay, this is the first rock that we're gonna be putting down. It's called the Niho rock. And when we put this rock down, it will form the corner.
Everybody has their own style of building a corner. Like Billy and me were pretty much, on the same page of how we start our corners. We start with the biggest stones that we could possibly find, and I like to run the corner first before I start running the sides.
Okay, the next rock is similar. It's a rectangle rock. We gotta line it up with the walls and the corners. And notice that this rock is overlapping the other rock down below. And we need rocks under here to lock this.
Every time you do one course, you want to lock in with fill and secure everything before you come up another course. So I'll start with the corner first, then I'll go out this way, then I'll go out that way, then I'll fill again, then I'll come up with my third course, with my corner going back this way, tying the corner in like this, like this, like this. The interlocking is very important because if you don't interlock it, you're going to lose the corner. And from what Billy taught me, once you lose the corner, you lose everything on the wall. Everything just starts coming down. Your corner is like the most important anchor of the wall.
Notice how I overlapped this rock. I had to do it to lock this rock in and to help stabilize this one.
Right now we're digging the Niho, so we can put in the first rock, the key rock, or the Kumu. I want to call that the Humu Pohaku. That is going to be the base rock. Basically, that rock is going to hold the two sides of the wall. This is going to be a key. And all the four corners have to be nice, stout rocks to hold the corner up. Okay, okay, now you gotta look. You gotta look all around. You gotta look all around. Yeah, the balance. Okay, so find one rock that will point to the bottom.
Uhau Humu Pohaku is a skill that requires years of practice to master. The information we have just covered represents only a fundamental understanding of construction techniques. Hands-on application and practice are absolutely necessary in order to truly learn the art of Hawaiian dry masonry.